Rioting in Paris is expected to enter day 5 over the alleged rape of a young man by police as dozens of arrests are made in the French capital. Also,
Putin is continuing to advance into Korea.
The Russian president has invaded Korea. That's the claim made by a U.S. congresswoman, with some Americans taking her words at face value.
If it's North Korea, I can't understand anybody advancing to North Korea. South Korea is the problem.
Do you have a message for the Korean people facing this aggression from Russia?
Stay safe, be with it, fight the power like us.
And after accusations of Russian hacking into the Democratic Party servers in the U.S., 3 suspects in an internal breach have been fired for accessing sensitive data. Around the clock across the world, this is RT International. My name is Ewan O'Neill. Welcome to the programme. Violence and unrest continues to grip Paris and its suburbs in support of a young man who claims he was sexually assaulted by police. France is expected to see a 5th day of riots against what protesters say are brutal police tactics. Well, the unrest started in the Paris suburb where the alleged rape occurred and has now extended to other parts of the capital. There have been scenes of chaos, with windows smashed and cars torched in several districts. Security forces were confronted by angry crowds and at one point fired warning shots into the air. That's according to local media. Well, videos have been emerging online showing demonstrators being detained, and at least 24 people have been arrested in the past 24 hours. RT Charlotte Dubensky has been following the story in the French capital.
Tensions high here in Paris. If you just come over with me here, you may be able to hear some of the shouts that people are saying. They're saying everybody hates the police. And the reason people are here in Paris protesting is against perceived police brutality. These protests follow an incident last Thursday in the northern suburbs of Paris, where a 22-year-old black man was allegedly assaulted by police officers. The police officers are now under investigation. They face 1 charge of rape and 3 charges of aggravated assault. They deny those charges, but people have come out again in Paris to protest this perceived police brutality. We were in Aulnay-sous-Bois, where that incident took place on Tuesday, and we were told that we had to leave the area by groups of youths. We had rocks thrown at us, and we actually saw some journalists being assaulted by the same group who had told us to leave. Now, here in Paris, you might be able to see there is a row of police officers. The riot police are out in force tonight, and what we have seen are crowds being dispersed across these streets, almost being kettled into areas. And if you just look down here, you'll see that the protesters have also been throwing bottles and smashing glass, not just at the riot police, but also at us, the media crews. We have been threatened here tonight. Tensions very high here in Paris. Thousands of people out on the streets to protest against police brutality.
It's not normal, we're all frustrated. We're at war with the police. If they do that today, they can do it again tomorrow.
These kind of things happen every day. Everybody, every day, is roughed up by the police. They attack us and they insult us.
In one incident, hooligans doused a police car with petrol and threw Molotov cocktails at police. Their goal is to kill officers.
Well, commentator Jean-French Affairs told us the situation is spiraling out of control and the police are unable to cope.
What's most terrible is the actual problem itself, and there's enough reason to be extremely angry with the police and to feel an incredible feeling of disappointment and distrust towards a group that should be there to protect civilians and to keep the peace. France supposedly has a state of emergency on, and so normally there should be a little bit of contact being taken with all of the populations and some background work done. And I'm afraid that maybe they haven't been doing enough of that, and that's why these riots have set off. The capacity for the police at this point to withhold everything might be in a state of non-preparation.
The situation is very tensed, you know, in the Parisian suburbs, because in these no-go zones they are not accustomed to see any policeman or any fireman, for instance, because each time they dare to enter the no-go territory, they are hurt, they are beat up, and sometimes they are deeply injured. So yes, we have to admit it, in some parts of France, the French law is no longer applied.
Vladimir Putin has invaded Korea. That's according to one US congresswoman who might need to go back to the drawing board before addressing the press again.
Putin is continuing to advance into Korea.
Did Maxine Waters just say that Russia is advancing into Korea? The Democratic congresswoman seems to be a little out of touch with current events, but perhaps it's an honest mistake. Let's find out if New Yorkers think that big bad Russia is invading Korea.
Obviously, it isn't good.
Yeah. I would need more information, but I'm a little concerned about Russia taking action on Korea without any other kind of input.
If it's North Korea, I can't understand by advancing into North Korea. South Korea is the problem.
Do you believe that Russia might be attacking Korea?
Possibly. I think with everything going on now, there's a lot of people around the world, so anything's up in the air.
We made this hashtag, actually, Stand for Korea, for the Korean people. Can you hold this for just a second?
Sure.
Do you have a message for the Korean people facing this aggression from Russia?
Stay safe, be with it, fight the power like us. Keep moving forward.
Many people seemed confused by Waters' words, but didn't buy it. Are you concerned about the Korean people facing this onslaught from Russia?
I don't think it's true.
I have no idea, but it's not true.
Probably a slip of the tongue. She probably meant Crimea, right? But,
Oh.
Yeah.
It's pretty irresponsible, big error on her part.
A lot of people are not so knowledgeable on a lot of topics.
It bothers me that all of our elected officials don't seem to know what's going on or really are giving a lot of thought to what they're saying to the press.
Overall, we're trying to fearmonger here in the U.S. because we want to build up this kind of intangible fear that's not really there to kind of create our masses to do something in spite of what we actually want to do.
How can a president who is acting in the manner that he's acting, and the fact that he is wrapping his arms around Putin while Putin is continuing to advance into Korea?
Well, you might have expected someone to correct the congresswoman's slip during the conference for a bit of damage control. But the next speaker instead stole the show when speaking about the current U.S. president.
We've seen nothing that we can work, but I can work with President Bush on, and I'm disappointed because I thought that there might be some interest because of what he said in the campaign.